Feeling friends is this concept that I came up with laying in bed one night. I have all these close friends who have these wonderful stories that can help change the world, life experiences that can help other people believe in themselves, hold tight to their dreams and make their dreams reality. On Feeling Friends, we talk about God, we talk about love, relationships. I have celebrity friends, I have non-celebrity friends. I have church members, family members. But when you watch and listen to Feeling Friends, you will learn and you will laugh. It's a community of friends helping to build each other up. So tune in to Feeling Friends every Sunday on WHCR 90.3 FM, or you can catch me on YouTube at Feeling Friends Radio. All right, I'll see you there. WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. What's up, everybody? It's me, Phil, and I'm back here live on air on YouTube with you, my friends. Thank you so much to everyone who continues to support me. I appreciate you. Listen, if you're not on YouTube, you can catch my shows on Sunday from 2 to 4 on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. Listen, I've got a friend on the show. She has the best spirit ever. I call her a power player in the entertainment industry. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Crystal Kelly live into the studio right now. Crystal Kelly, what's going on?
What's up, y'all? Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. This is so cute. I like it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It means a lot coming from you. Listen, I've been knowing you since I think 18. We've been knowing each other for a long time. And every time I see you, you have always had this wonderful spirit. You have always just been like, Phil. And I appreciate you for being here. Listen, tell the audience who you are and where you're from and what you do for a living.
Hi, I am Crystal Kelly. I hail from the Lone Star State, Houston, Texas, home of Beyonce, Listen, Tex-Mex, Anyways, I'm currently a co-executive producer right now with MTV on Caught in the Act Unfaithful with Tammy Roman.
Which we love. And you just told me that you have done a lot of things in television. This show, I love that show. So hopefully, I hope that show keeps going because it's like real drama. It's like really great drama. So,
we in season 3 right now. So
I love it. And I got to catch up. I recorded on my TV. Listen, what was it like for you growing up in Houston? I know you told this really great story. You're 40 under 40, right? With Atlanta, and they gave you just this prestigious award, which I'm a part of as well. But you told this story when you got up and spoke. And that's what I wanted you to come on. You grew up in Houston. Tell us what that was like.
I love Houston. I would currently live there now if it was like the mecca of TV or entertainment. But unfortunately, Atlanta has taken over that. But I loved Houston. My family is originally from Louisiana, so I have those roots as well. Growing up in Houston was amazing. I was in church 5 days a week. My grandfather was a pastor.
Oh, you one of those kids. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he was a pastor. May he rest in peace. But my mother was a teenage mother. So she had me, she got pregnant with me at 15 and she gave birth to me at 16. So growing up, and in Black families, and I'm going to keep it real on this show. I hope I can keep
it. Please keep it real.
Y'all my friends, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Growing up, you hear those, murmurs like, she's going to be like her mother, or she's going to be a teenage mother. And just growing up in a church and the taboo-ness around that, I heard a lot of that, but I also had a lot of older mentors and a lot of prayer warriors outside of that. So it was always good and bad, but growing up in Houston was beautiful. I was super, 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 super involved in school. I was super, super involved in church. So a lot of people say, I was involved in school and gymnastics, and that's how I got involved. No, my first involvement in being like in all different things was church. I was drill team, praise dance. I was
your usher.
Everything. Everything. So church, grounded me, and that helped me get to who I am now.
So what does that faith mean to you, and what does it mean to you for who you are now?
Oh, it means everything. Growing up in the church, you're taught, especially as a child, like, this is how you pray. This is like, communion Sunday. And so growing up and as an adult, I have my own faith. I have my own, relationship with God. So every morning, just before I signed on to this, I was listening to church music. I was listening to Yolanda Adams. So
that's great. I was too. That I switched over to Make Edition, but it's all that.
I'm so serious. Like, the battle is not yours was literally. I get up, I armor myself, I read a scripture, and I put on church music even when I'm in a car riding, so I can settle my spirits for whatever is to come. So
because Crystal, we doing a lot of things, and we wrestle not with flesh and blood. You grew up in the church. We wrestle with things that are just happening in the air and it's moving. And what do you do besides the prayer to like cut those negative things off when you encounter negative people, and especially in your line of work? How do you like deal with that on a daily basis?
Therapy.
That's good. That's really good.
Therapy. Yeah, I am an advocate for it. Particularly, I mean, before I probably like dabbled in it, but when my grandfather passed, it was a dark space, and I was like, I kind of probably need to talk to someone because I'm not addressing it. So it was just me being a big girl, like, hey, you probably need to address this. But it also opened up a lot of other avenues for me to like tackle a lot of areas like in my career and about me that has essentially helped me. So I think therapy is very, very important, and having good people around you that don't mind you calling them like, remember I told you about that girl at my job? I'm about to smack now, but so that little venting session like goes a long way. So but
I think that's important because Black people in the church like, I don't need therapy. Yeah, no, you can have Jesus and therapy.
Yes, you can.
And I'm glad to hear that you are going to therapy because I want to go to therapy as well. I think it's going to help out a lot of issues.
Yes, go once a month. Just go and like I just like when I say I just talk, my therapist be like, like she thinks. She's like, you're fascinating, but she's like, let's like dig into this. So it's so much other areas to reasons why we do things and why we react certain ways. So I'm an advocate for it.
You know what I've learned, especially interviewing on the show, a lot of successful Black women are doing therapy. They're dealing with their issues and they're getting help. And I mean, everybody from executive VPs to presidents, they have all mentioned therapy and church as well. So that's the key. Go to therapy, get some help, and deal with your issues. Let's go into why you wanted to go on the TV. I know you're a big woman, so I thank you so much for being here today. Why did you choose television to go on TV?
I didn't choose television. Television taught me. So I have this thing. I like to say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I initially wanted to be a lawyer. So I took the LSAT. I did okay with it or whatever. My best friend at the time, my best friend was in New York at the time. It was like, well, just come to New York. I'm working on this show. So I went to the show and I worked on it, but I still was studying for my LSAT, still took the LSAT again, and I scored higher. Started schools, and then for some reason, I interacted. My first show was Jeremy Kyle's show. And it was with ITV, and it was right across the street from Wendy Williams. Hell's Kitchen.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was a long time ago, and I interacted with somebody. I think she threw a wig off and ran and started crying or something, and I stopped her. And I was like, "Yo, like you can't be letting life." And my EP at the time saw it and was like, "I want to promote her." I had only been there for 2 weeks, Bill. I was like literally a receptionist / social media, because that's when social media first started, and they was like, we need somebody to know, like, what I just graduated. Like, I can tackle.
And this was what, like 08, 09, around that time?
This was like 10.
10.
I graduated 09, so this was like 2010. So I was like, I can do it. But then 2 weeks they promoted me to PA. After that, I was still applying to law schools. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it anymore. After that show ended, they referred me to Maury in Connecticut. And I was like, I'll go work. I went and worked there within 2 months because I'm competitive.
Right.
With, I don't know, your viewers. It was a woman, a Caucasian woman who had gotten promoted, and I had took her position. But when I got there, they were like, oh, the girl that place you took, she got promoted. And I was like, watch me get promoted. So I got promoted in 2 months. And when I got promoted, like I during this time, I kept getting like denied law school, denied, waitlisted. The school I wanted to go to was Brooklyn Law School, waitlisted. Broke my heart.
And you know what? Let's talk about that, because that denial means a huge thing. I mean, it's kind of like a redirection. How did that make you feel, that denial?
I was so hurt. I was like, what do you mean? I am fantastic. I would like make this school. Like, what do you mean? Like, I would be the best, because I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer. Like, Jerry Maguire was like my favorite movie, and I wanted to do what he did, but with entertainment, it was weird. So I was like, what do you mean I can't go here? Like, I know I'm smart. I practice. This is what I want. This is the trajectory that I plan for my life. What do you mean? Like, I'm supposed to be a lawyer within the next 3. Like, this doesn't make sense. Right. And I had a friend at the time was like, yo, Crystal, you might wait. You just calm down. You don't know, something might happen. I swear to you, the day that I got called into the office and got promoted to associate producer, which is kind of like now you moving up, I went and checked my email. I got accepted to 2 law schools.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah,
one in Miami and one in LA. I was like, called my grandfather. He was like, baby, they're not tearing down law schools tomorrow. So If you think TV is good, give it a try. So I deferred for a year. Within a year, I got promoted twice. I was like, I think I'm good.
And you kept moving up and moving up.
Yeah, moving up, and law has just, kind of dwindled there.
Right.
Yeah.
You have worked on some legal shows, right?
Absolutely. So look how
let's talk about your trajectory, because you have a really great resume. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show, you are Emmy Award winner.
Yeah.
Is it multiple Emmys? You have a few?
Multiple Emmy nominations. I have like 10 multiple Emmy nominations. Yeah.
I want an Emmy one day. I tell our friend, we have a friend, Tanil, that works at TV.
I love Tanil.
I want an Emmy. She said, you'll get one, Phil. You'll get one. I gotta look forward to y'all Emmys one day. Let's talk about your trajectory. So let's talk about the shows you worked on.
So I started on Jeremy Kyle.
Okay.
I went to Maury. Maury had a spinoff, which was Trisha Goddard, which is
I do remember Trisha. Okay, yeah, I do remember. She was like England or something. England or I remember that. Yeah.
So I did her show. Both seasons of her show, which is an interesting show. I got to tackle a lot of bully topics, makeover topics, all kind of stuff, racism. I had to go to a town where there was nothing but white people and a biracial couple, and they were trying to get them out the town, and I had to interview the KKK. It was crazy. I was like, I'll do it. They was like, you'll do it. I was like, yeah. What are you gonna do to me? Yeah. I went to paternity court, and I did paternity court for 8 years. On paternity court, I helped create couples court and personal injury court.
You did couples court?
Yeah.
With the two from Atlanta, the Cutlers. I love it. You worked on. I love. I didn't know this. I should have research on you. I love the Cutlers. I watch the Cutlers all the time. They're really great for TV.
Love them. They're an amazing couple. Amazing. And then the AUC Love. So
AUC Love. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. I helped create their show, the pilot to syndication, and we got 2 Emmy nominations with that show.
Wow.
So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, personal injury court, Dr. Phil, Robert Irvine. I've worked at Revolt. Now I'm at MTV. Divorce court. Yeah, I've done divorce court. I did divorce court for 5 years, 5 seasons.
What divorce court did you do? Did you do divorce court with Maybelline, or did you do it with?
I ain't that old now.
Okay.
We tried it.
We're the same age. We practically the same age. That was when we were kids, huh? She was on
We tried it. No, I did it with Judge Faith Jenkins. She did 2 seasons, and then I did it with Star Jones. She's the new right now for the last 2 seasons. Yeah. You
have had a wonderful trajectory in TV, and it's hard in TV. Let's talk about the realness of TV. Let's get real with these people. Somebody who's just starting off, they don't have the success that you might have had. You've had God on your side. It's just a hard game. So what would you tell them? I don't know what to do. I'm trying to figure it out. What advice would you give those people?
Again, we friends, so I'm gonna try to keep it real, and I love to give practical advice. Yes. I think the first step is, and I try to remind everybody, your current job dictates your next job. So when we come into places, we have to show up 100%. Right. Especially if you're a young Black woman, especially if you're a young Black man, we can't be mediocre. We have to come, there is no slacking. You have to come in, and it gets exhausting, but it helps you perfect yourself, and it helps your value of what you know how to do and what you can bring to that project and to that show. So I would say the first step is to get your foot in and be humble. Because a lot of people, and there's a lot of creative people, Phil. There's a lot of people that I meet that has never stepped foot on a set. And I'm like, cameras and FX3s and POVs and how to, all these sways and gap, how to do all this stuff. But when you're stepping on these sets, you have to be humble. I've done every position. So the position I'm in when I'm talking to someone or I'm leading my crew, I'm like, I started off as a receptionist and worked my way up. So you can't tell me I don't know every part of this industry. I've done all of it. I've created, I've studied the craft of every producer I've been around. I don't like that. Let me change that. I've been able to work on not tweak my personality, but know how to appeal to certain talent when I'm talking to them. Some people may be the rah-rah. Some people may be very shy. Some people may be a little coy. I just know how to get certain things out of people. So be humble, baby. Somebody say, hey, come work on a set as a day of PA, do it. Learn it. Because you might not want to be a producer. You might want to be in production management. You might not want to be, with story. You might want to be behind the lens. You never know until you engulf yourself there and put one foot in and say, okay, what do I want to do? Like, don't look at it from the outside and say that's what I want to do until you actually get on set and pay attention to everything.
And a lot of people think that, you know, we live in an instant society. We grew up in a world where we were like at the end, we were almost grown when social media came out. So kids nowadays, they expect to be, oh, I have a YouTube show. These people have been grinding for years. We have been in radio and TV since we were like kids. And then people finally make it. It's like, oh, well, I've been acting for 20 years and I finally got on TV. So you're right. That humbleness and humility part is so important. And people just really need to take that perspective and look at that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the instant, I like to call them the microwave babies, you know, those instant successes or whatever. Even when I'm around certain people that have those instant like successes and I try to have like a regular conversation, there's something missing because they don't have that, you know, some lack that type of like, oh shoot. I'm so sorry. Some lack that essence, you know, that essence of like, hey, like I made it out the mud and I did something, you know, it's just, they don't get it, you know?
They don't get it right. And I think that we have a sense of gratefulness. When you've been in the mud, you have a sense of gratefulness.
Absolutely.
And you understand. I want to talk about what has been the most challenging part of your industry? What has been the most challenging and difficult part that you experienced?
The most challenging parts, I would say, is the higher you make it is like the more you have to like restrain yourself. It's very weird. It's very weird because you're dealing with so many pieces in the pot, you know, and as creatives, and you know this as a creatives, everybody's idea is better than somebody's idea.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's kind of like maintaining tone, maintaining integrity, maintaining a sense of authority, but with grace when you're in certain rooms around you know, development or the network or, you know, certain higher B's. Like that has now in my place of like success, that's what I'm kind of like, oh, okay, one another playing level. So, you know, Crystal has to, you know, be like, okay, but still hold down what I feel and still make sure that my integrity is not attacked, you know?
And you have to make sure you always keep that integrity. And I know you're super busy. I want to talk about the sisterhood. I want to lead to another conversation. You're in part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. At the Sigma chapter, y'all don't play no games. And I saw you post some stuff yesterday about
it was my 17 years.
It was 17 years. Congratulations, 17 years. I'm on my 20 year at Alpha this year. What has that sisterhood been like for you? And I want to talk about the strength of Black women in the entertainment industry. That's where I wanted to go. But I want to talk about that. What does that mean? That sisterhood mean for you?
Especially it's amazing. It's amazing. Like I talk to my line sisters all the time. Most of my line sisters got babies and husbands and stuff, so we can all like, you know, and I hate like Pinky's my best friend, but it's also my line sister. But I'm like talking to like certain people, you get certain things from certain people. So I know when I can call somebody, we're gonna talk about, you know, work, and that's okay. But I know if I call my tail gonna sing to me. My tail gonna pray to me. My tail gonna be like, have you been eating? I know if I call my 7, who's an OBGYN, I know you on set, but you need to make sure you taking your blood pressure. Like it's so many different things and so many different so much fruit I get from each one of them in different ways. So it's a blessing to have that sister, especially my big sisters. Like me and my big sister, Stacey Lee, shout out to Stacey Lee. Like we talk almost every other day. She's another one like Crystal. I know you'll grind, but make sure we keep it heart first and make sure we keep it faith first. Shout out to DeAndre Golding. She from 96. She is an EP, a GOAT in the game. She's always like, Crystal, don't let these TV people make sure make sure you keep your head level. Like sisterhood is like, it's unbelievable. It's probably one of the most amazing decisions I've ever made. And
I'm happy for that you have that, because Sigma chapter is strong. Listen, when you go to homecoming and you see them on that hill, and one of my best friends, David, his mother was Sigma chapter. I think his grandmother is Sigma chapter too. They are strong. You all have this bond, and I love that for you. Talk about that for Black women in the industry. How do you maintain that professionalism and say, hey, sister, you got to make sure you stay on the track, or you got to pull that other person up?
Absolutely.
That's something you always do, and I'm sure you do. I know you do.
Absolutely.
In the entertainment industry.
It's so funny because the president of my production company, every time we on a call, I don't care who on that call, she gonna be like, "Damn, my soror." I'm like, and I'm gonna be like, "What's that soror?" Like I'm gonna do it. I'm talking about she's 40-something years in the game. I'm always like, I don't care who we on the call with. She gonna be like, "That's my soror talking," and everybody's like, "What is a soror?" She don't. care. So
What is
I'm
this somewhere thing they're talking about? Yeah.
what are y'all talking about? But
Yeah.
when I see young women, especially like these days, again, I'm gonna be transparent with you,
Yeah.
friends, feeling friends.
Mhm.
Sometimes people not that receptive of like getting that, like this person's looking after me kind of thing. So I kind of like sit back and watch people who are like that I see remnants of myself in on set.
Right.
And when I see them, I pull them to the side, like, hey, like this is your position. Do you want to learn this? Yeah, okay, well, this is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Your PA, hey, I know you don't have anything to do right now, but always look like you're busy because you never want nobody to. Or somebody always pulls me to the side, like, can I talk to you on the side? Or can I talk to you outside of here? Can you look at my work? Can you look at my log work or my hot sheets or my summaries? I'm like, absolutely. So I always try to, allot a certain time that I give back to especially the Black women that's on my set, especially.
I love that. I love that. What would the advice you would give somebody? I know you mentioned this before. If they're trying to get in the entertainment industry, what do they do first? Like, what's like the first step? I would say college, just to go get the ground. But that's you and ours. That's our experience. But what would you suggest?
You know what's so funny, and I want to shout out A5 because I spoke. I think Fabe had me speak somewhere or whatnot, and it was my number, Amari. I think he was Mr. CAU.
Oh yes, yeah, good, great guy.
He came up. He saw the opportunity. He was like, "I know you my number. They told me you in TV. Do you mind if I get your number?" Amari would text me all the time. Amari has now worked on maybe 4 productions that I've gotten him on. So it's just about shooting your shot, like the consistency of it, or when I need him to do something, like when I'm doing American Session, I'm like, hey, you want to come volunteer? He's the first person there. I'll do it, Crystal, because you got me this job. He's got an opportunity to work on a show, a movie, a set. So now he gets to see different things in TV. He's like, I think I want to gaff now. I don't think I want to produce. So that's the thing about shooting your shot, especially when you're young, man. Work on everything. You don't have to make a choice right now. Like, so shooting your shot. Like, I think the first thing if you're somewhere and somebody's speaking about what they do in the industry, get their number, get their email. You never know. I always tell people what sites to go to. Like, if you go to these sites, we look for PAs all the time. Go to it or send me your resume because I need somebody to start tomorrow. So you never know. I just got 2 people a job last week who I just met on a thing that I was just working on. So like I was just speaking on, and 2 girls walked up to me like, if I go to Georgia State, I need a job. Come day PA. Send me your resume. They've been working this week, so
I love that. It's about giving back too, Crystal, because so many people gave to us as young people, and the fact that you're giving back, that's a God thing too, because you never know how you change somebody's life.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you helping my little bros. So that means a lot. Let's talk about that Emmy you won recently. What did that feel like? I'm excited to have an Emmy Award winner on. What did that feel like for you?
So first of all, it was amazing. Going to the Emmys is amazing. Like, it's at Calabasas. You're around all these people, like all these stars. And I had been, this is like my, I think, 4th nomination. At this time, I was double nominated in this category this time. And I had been like twice before. And I was like, oh, we're not going to win. So I kind of was like, just whatever about it. Like, if we win. But hearing our name and like going on stage and like actually getting that trophy with my name on it that says Crystal Kelly, especially last name Kelly, because that's my grandfather's name. That's my family's name. So that's not just mine. That's my family's too. That's my grandfather's. That's my mother's. That's my cousins. That's my aunts. That's everybody who prayed for me in Houston. That's for everybody who sent the care package when I didn't have nothing in college. That's everybody who just sent the little message on Facebook like, we proud of you, or posted my name in the credits because that's what we work for. Credits, like, look at my little cousin. That award was for all of us. So that it warmed my heart. And then we got lit apples. I ain't gonna lie.
I know you did. I've been there with the Wendy Williams crew before, and we all got lit. So that's a whole other thing. Listen, if you got a time machine, you can go back to 16-year-old Crystal in Houston. What would you tell yourself?
Oh, you know what? I always go back and forth about this because I feel like, and it sounds cliche, but every wrong turn, every fail, every no, every yes shapes you to who you are right now in your life, especially in your career. But if I could tell myself anything when I was 16, it would be this too shall pass. I'm a perfectionist. I will like literally analyze and dwell on stuff. How can I be better? How can I make this better? How can I show up? And I'm grateful for where I'm at in life right now, especially in my career. But if I would have like embodied hey, Crystal, keep it moving. Keep it a little bit faster. Don't take too much time to grieve. Keep it moving. Don't take too much time to be sad. Keep it moving. So if I would tell my 16-year-old self or any 60-year-olds who's listening, this too should pass. Take a day, take 3, but after that, let it go. Keep it moving. Come up with a plan, and let's go.
My grandfather said that. Rest his soul. He died a couple years ago. He said, just take one day, think about it. Next day, just let it go. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't control it. You got to let it go. What are some final thoughts you have for our audience? Listen, you have been absolutely amazing. Aww. I want to speak life into you. Continue to be who you are. Continue growing and just giving back. You're just an awesome person. What final thoughts do you have for our audience?
Listen, pray. Drink your water, mind your bit. No,
you're right.
Stuff. That's the practical stuff. But listen, y'all, life is getting shorter and shorter. Like I literally, this year is even going like just fast. I just encourage everybody to, hold true to who they are. Whatever faith you are, whatever God you worship, whatever you go to for solace and for peace, keep that in your core, because anything in this world can shake you up. If you're trying to be in the entertainment industry and you want to be one of those execs, you need to know that when you walk into rooms or you walk on sets, you might break a couple rules, or you might, ruffle a couple feathers, but you're going to have to learn how to be okay with that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Crystal. Hold tight for me in the green room, right? I know you're busy, so hold tight for me. Okay. Thank you so much. I want to thank my friend Crystal Kelly for coming on Feeling Friends. This means so much to me. She said, this too shall pass. So remember that. Let it go. Let God. And just trust the process, and everything's going to work out. You're listening to Feeling Friends right here on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.